Welcome to Hangzhou.
Welcome to Hangzhou.
You are watching Badminton Weekly.
You are watching Badminton Weekly.
Hello and welcome back to Badminton Weekly. It's the season finale and we're ending things off with a bang right here at the heart of the competition, the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium. Now, this finale marks the first time across 4 years that the HSBC BWF World Tour finals will be held in Hangzhou. So before we get into all the action and to commemorate that, let me give you an exclusive tour of the place. As you know, the World Tour Finals is a highly anticipated event, not just for the players, but for the fans as well. Fans can not only enjoy some exciting action, but also bring home some merchandise to remember their experience here. I'm gonna grab some for myself too. We've seen what's on offer for the players over at the merchandise booths, and I've got some for myself too. But right now, we're in front of the training hall where your favorite players warm up before heading to the main stage. Moving closer to the action, we're now right here at the commentary booth where the voices of badminton bring you insights on the matches throughout the week. Finally, at the end of the exciting showdowns, win or lose, this is where the players come to take questions from the press, the mix zone. Now that you've seen all the important areas in the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center Gymnasium, let's dive right into the action.
And they've done it on a run of 6 straight points. And it is a record 4th title for Chen Qingchen and Zhang Yunfan. And Tai Tzu-Ying extends her record. And they've done it. A record 5th men's singles title for Victor Axelsen.
What an exciting season finale it has been, and of course all the champions for each category have been crowned. I'm here right now in the stadium with Chris Langridge, former British player, to talk us through it all. Hi Chris.
Hi, thanks very much for having me.
It's good to have you. So let's go ahead and start with the women's singles. Now, Tai Tzu-Ying, she's had 2 great comebacks throughout this week. Now, there really is no other way to describe her week other than fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, especially the semi-final, the comeback was one of the most extreme comebacks I think I've ever seen. 19-10 down in the 3rd. I, to be honest, had possibly given up hope of the comeback, and it was incredible. 19-10 down and then 20-16 down and she came back. And then after that, it did feel like in the final when she started to come back in the 2nd game, it was going to be that fairy tale ending for her, and it was. And it, it's such an incredible achievement for her. She's been at the top of the game now for 12 years, which is incredible. To have a career of 12 years is fantastic, but to be one of the best in the world for that long, it's truly incredible.
It really is. And you mentioned that, after the semi-finals, when she went into the finals against Marion, were you surprised at, how much she still had left in her?
Especially after the first game, Carolina has played so well, almost back to that incredible form we saw in the, the 2016 year where she was phenomenal. But then Tai Tzu-Ying, she's so experienced, she managed to almost turn the game on its head. And there was just that moment where the game started to turn, and it was so hard then for Carolina to kind of cope with the variety, the shot selection, kind of the finesse and the creativity that Tai Tzu-Ying has.
And you mentioned earlier, she really is such a unique player.
Yeah, totally unique. I think almost every single player out there you know, when I was there, and same as everyone, we do video analysis on a player because you want to understand what the player's doing. You know, you want to know them so well that you know what they're going to do before they do it. And Chai Su-ying, I think, is the only player out there who doesn't. You know, she just focuses on herself because she's confident that if she plays well, it doesn't matter what her opponent's doing. And, you know, on one hand, I totally get it. I think it's a great way to look, because sometimes for me anyway, personally, I would overanalyze my opponents. And she does the opposite of that. But then it's amazing she can still win with just playing how she plays.
And she's gone so far as well. And we managed to speak to the women's singles champion. Here is what she has to say.
我自己的话，我觉得还好，但是我觉得在场上的一些打球的方式，然后心态上可能都有稍微觉得比较好一些，因为可能就是心态放得比较轻松，然后加上我觉得自己应该要找到更好的方式去进步，就是不能一直处在同样的情况，因为会输了又输。对，我觉得这样子就是不是很好。然后加上从小组赛，我觉得自己也发挥得不是很好，然后加上是别人给了我这机会晋级到4强，所以我更珍惜的去享受在场上跟他们几位就是水准很高的选手去对抗。
Congratulations once again to Tai. Now, let's of course talk about the men's singles. Victor Axelsen and Shi Yiti, a highly anticipated match. Now, they actually came across one another in their first match, and Shi actually came out on top in that game. What do you think was different about this final match here?
Well, I think first of all, that's the such unique thing about this tournament in regards to, you know, Victor lost first round. But because obviously it's a group stage, he then managed to turn things around, and on one hand, that is incredible in itself. I think today, definitely that match that Shi Yiti played against Narioka, that was 1 hour and 38 minutes. I think that did play a little part today, just because I think he was a little bit slower and not quite as aggressive, because physically he was drained. But I've got to say, full credit to Victor. The way he's played, except for maybe in the first match, but the way he's come back from that and he's played throughout the tournament, and something that I think has been so incredible is the way he's carried himself, because even though at times he maybe wasn't quite playing his best, he handled it really well, which I think was phenomenal to see, because sometimes in the past I've seen when he hasn't played to his best, he gets so frustrated with himself because he knows how good he is, he knows how well he can play, and when he doesn't quite perform that way, I can see the frustration builds. But he handled it so well, especially in the semi and the final, and I think it's full credit. And you know, that's why he's won five of this elite level tournaments. You know, the tour finals, to win 5 and 3 in a row is such an incredible achievement. Yeah.
Well, it means a lot to me. This is the 5th time I'm winning in total and 3rd in a row, and I think no other player has done that. So right now I'm emotional, even though I'm a little bit calm right now, but I'm super happy. You know, to be honest, when I started out playing, I wouldn't, if you told me that I would win this kind of title so many times, I wouldn't believe you. So I still don't believe it, really. Yeah. Actually, it's been a hard week for me here because I haven't really been able to play the way I want to play badminton. I've had to really dig deep and just try to get as many shuttles over the net as possible. And that paid out. You know, physically I have been really tough, and mentally it was hard for me to accept that I just had to rally basically and wait for the chance. I want to hit winners and I want to hit amazing shots, but this week I had to take another approach, and I'm actually really proud about, you know, accepting that here Saturday, Sunday, and just digging deep and winning the title. Obviously now it's all worth it.
Now, before we talk about the doubles category, let's hear from some of the fans what their favorite moments of the tournament.
My favorite moment is probably watching Shi Yiti beating Victor Axelsen on the first day. It was very exciting.
I like to watch Zheng Siwei and Huang Yachou.
Yeah, fighting! I think the building is great, and the atmosphere is also great.
I feel like badminton here in Asia is just a completely different level, and just the energy and enthusiasm in the stadiums is just very eye-opening.
It's very contagious as well.
Hope everyone just enjoy this moment and enjoy the final meeting.
Well, we've heard from the fans. Now, I'm curious, Chris, as a commentator, what is your favorite moment in the tournament?
It's been such an incredible tournament. There's been so many amazing matches. So if I had to pick one incredible moment, I think I would have to say Chai Su-ying, the comeback against An Si-young, just because, you know, I had to admit I had possibly thought the game was going to be over. 19-10 down against the world #1, you know, the world champion, and the way she came back, it was incredible. And even 2016, I think that section of the match is probably, for me anyway, one of the most extreme parts of a match I've ever seen.
You could hear it in the audience as well. You know, the cheers were amazing when she won.
Yeah, you know, she's a crowd favourite, and everyone loves her unique playing style because she is quite different and she's so creative, and the skill and the finesse, she's a joy to watch.
Now jumping over to the doubles category, let's talk about the mixed doubles. We had a quick chat before the show, and you mentioned that Zheng Siwei and Huang Yaqiong, they're like aliens, you know, throughout the week.
Good aliens, though.
Good aliens, yes. But what is it about them that stands out to you?
The thing is, when I watched them play their semi-final against Seo and Che, I was getting to the point where I didn't have enough, you know, good words. You know, my vocabulary is only so big, and it was literally rally after rally. They were exceptional. And the crazy thing is, for people to have patches of a match of brilliance, it happens, and generally then you have a dip. There was no dip. You know, it was like watching a movie, and the ending just it keeps getting better and better. Yeah. And the thing that I was shocked by was they managed to do that against the world champions, you know, in the semi-final of a major tournament. And to sustain that for the duration they did, you know, I would go as far as to say, and this is a bold comment, one of the best mixed doubles performances, definitely I've ever seen live, but it must be one of the best mixed doubles performances ever. And you know, this is a bold comment because I'm sure there's going to be other people that disagree, but that semi-final performance was, you know, it was literally like they're from another planet, they were that good.
我觉得可以算是吧，因为我觉得，这是2023年的最后一站比赛了，那我们能拿到这个冠军，我觉得算是一个完美的收官吧。
Now let's talk about the men's doubles. Now world champions Kang Min-hyuk and Seo Seong-jae, they have done it again against world number ones Liang Wei-keng and Wang Chang in front of their home crowd, no less. Definitely no easy feat there, isn't it?
No, and I think, you know, when it all finished, you heard the crowd. There was dead silence, and you know, the crowd, obviously, everyone in here. Chinese cheering for the Chinese, and what an incredible performance by Kang, because in the first round match when they played Kim and Anders, I don't think he performed to his best. When they lost that first round match as well, I thought, can they actually progress out of the group? And after that they just got better and better, and yesterday's performance and today's was incredible. And I have to say, as I said, Kang, absolutely incredible. I'd say that's one of the best performances I've seen from him.
Well, what do you think changed for him, you know, between that and now?
And this is the interesting question, because to know exactly you'd have to ask him. But, you know, there's no doubt he's a good player. There's no doubt he's world champion, you know. Yeah. But in that game against Kim and Anders, I saw him snatching, I saw him making decisions that weren't quite correct, and he didn't look comfortable. Whereas today, he was so calm. There was a rally right near the end. He had the best net player in the world killing at him, and he was so calm and relaxed and just pushing the shuttle back. Didn't look phased, didn't look in trouble.
And finally, the women's doubles, Cheng Qingchen and Jia Yifan took home that title. But my question is, now Baek Hana and Lee So-hee, they were on the court this week almost twice as much as the Chinese duo. How much do you think that affected their results?
If I'm going to be honest, in the final it definitely did. They did incredible to actually make it through that semi, because you could see they were clearly struggling. But they had a big enough lead and had the experience to close out the game. I think in the final, it was one too many. I think they handled it incredibly well, considering obviously fatigue, possible injuries, and they are playing, you know, they're playing the best pair in the world. The Chinese are incredible, and they're so far ahead, you know, in the points for the world rankings, and if I'm honest, I think the best pair did win.
Mistakes. And it is a record fourth title for Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for chatting with us. It's been so great having you here on site.
Thanks very much for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
And to close off the very last show of the year, here's a little recap to show you the best of the best in the week in Hangzhou. With that, we'll see you guys next year.
Wow, incredible, absolutely incredible.
I don't believe it. Well, if that doesn't make play of the day, I don't know what will.
Oh, what a return by Victor. Excellent play.
Beautiful rally.